Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Rainbow Tarot UK. If you're new, then it's lovely to have you. If you're a returning viewer and a subscriber, then thanks ever so much for subscribing to the channel and for coming back and listening to one more of my readings. So in today, reading is, right now, what do they want you to know in terms of how they are thinking and feeling about you, about the connection. What do they most want you to know? So as usual, we've got three piles. We've got pile number one, which is the coral card and the little blue or grey striped pumpkin. Pile number two, which is the lavender and the orange and white striped pumpkin. And pile number three, which is the lemon card and the green striped pumpkin. So as usual, just use your intuition, go for whatever pile is calling to you. There might be more than one pile, and that's absolutely fine. As usual, like I always say, it's a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. You never have to take a message that doesn't feel right. You might need to listen to another pile, or you might need to listen to another reading to receive whatever messages you need to hear today. But anyway, other than that, I'll see you in reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number one, and welcome back to your reading. So, today's reading we're doing, aren't we? Right now, what would they most like you to know about how they're feeling, how they're thinking, the situation, the connection, how they see you. So let's lay out the card. So you chose the coral, beautiful coral card, and this lovely little blue or grey striped pumpkin, and I'm just going to put that on there. So I've got a couple of oracle cards, I've got some tarot, and I've got some love message cards that I will probably do at the end, but I might do one or two during the reading. But anyway, let's lay out the cards. So you've got coral, that's the first card. Then you've got illumination. So now, first of all, I'm just going to talk about these two cards. So these are your two oracle cards. So, I mean, with coral and with the illumination, my feeling is that, well, first of all, coral is just a beautiful, I always feel orange and orange hues are just a very positive, kind of happy, fun-loving colour. And underneath it says allow flow and synchronicity into your life. And we also have illumination, and with this card, this is actually kind of mist. This shows mist rising over an alpine lake, and because mist is sometimes associated in lots of cultures with, like, connection to the spiritual realms, my sense is that they feel that this connection has got a spiritual element to it, but it's also got a fun-loving element to it. So I think it is a deep connection. They do view it as a deep connection, and they may feel in some ways that you're kind of soul partners, or you have a divine connection, and that somehow the relationship is divinely guided and protected in some way. It also says illumination, so maybe they are looking for somehow for the situation to be illuminated in some way. So it could be that for some of you this is a situation which hasn't quite come into being yet, or it could be that it is a situation that is in separation, but they want it to put the spotlight back onto it again in some way, and for it to be illuminated again. And they're saying that they recognise that there's a deep connection between the two of you, because underneath coral it says allow flow and synchronicity into your life. So I'm kind of getting the sense that they feel that there are a lot of signs and synchronicities about this connection for them, that tells me that they feel it's divinely guided or divinely protected in some way. Now coral, because it is a coral card, coral can mean change, transformation, new beginnings. It can also talk about hope, strength, resilience. So maybe this situation is a new beginning. They see this relationship as a new beginning for them, or it's some sort of reconciliation situation that they're hoping is going to happen. But it's definitely they see it, the relationship, I think, in a positive way. They see it and view it in a positive way, and they see it in a very spiritual way. Also, coral, of course, is related to the orange hue, and the orange hue is related to the second chakra, which is about you know, it's about a lot of things, but the main thing it's about is creativity and sexual energy. So I feel that they think that there's a lot of sexual attraction between the two of you as well. And they want you to know that. So they want you to know, I think, that they see this relationship as very, very, very significant for them. Even if you've been with them or if you haven't been with them and it's the start of something, they see it as a significant relationship, something that they feel a pull towards. It has a magnetism to it because they know, probably, or on some intuitive level, they know that it's kind of like a divine connection in some way, or that's how they're feeling. And maybe there are certain signs and synchronicities around the connection that they can't quite explain, but they definitely are picking up on some sort of intuitive link or some sort of intuitive connection between the two of you. And because it says illumination, maybe in some way they want the spotlight to be on it now, or it is beginning to, you know, illuminate for them, beginning to come into being for them. They're beginning to recognise it in some way, whereas before it might have been in darkness. Now it's becoming something that they are becoming aware of, if you like. But anyway, let's have a look at your tarot and see what that's in. Seven of Cups with a Hierophant. So with a Hierophant, that's sort of Taurus energy, if that means anything to anyone. Ace of Wands, Three of Swords, okay, Nine of Wands, the Empress, and then the part at the bottom of the deck was the Page of Cups. Okay, so and I've got for you, I think 4 messages came out now, so I'm just going to take the first one off the top and take that straight away. The first one here says healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. Okay, so let's put that there for the minute. So I do think that for some of you, this might be the person that you're thinking of here. Is maybe an ex or somebody that you've split up with in some way, and maybe it's a no contact situation, because we have the Three of Swords and we have the Nine of Wands. Now the Three of Swords can talk about loss, separation, heartache, disconnection. The Nine of Wands can often talk about it being challenging, or feeling there's a lot of burdens, or feeling challenged by the situation. So maybe what they want you to know is that they feel a sense, if this is the case and that you're not with this person, that they feel a very sense of loss and heartache in this situation, that they are suffering in the disconnection or the maybe lack of contact here, that they may be also possibly at the moment a little bit kind of confused, because we have the Seven of Cups here. Now the Seven of Cups can talk about feeling maybe a little bit overwhelmed with choices, or feeling like they've got a lot of choices, or maybe what happened in the situation to cause the breakup was that they were dithering around too much, and they couldn't quite make up their mind, because that can sometimes mean the Seven of Cups energy, where you're sort of, you know, should I go for that? Shouldn't I go for that? And it has a kind of non-committal energy to it. And right underneath that is the Three of Swords. And I'm just wondering, maybe for some of you in this situation, if there was a kind of a non-committal energy to them before, and maybe that's what led to a kind of breakup or a separation in some way. Because we also have the Hierophant here, which is commitment. Now the Hierophant normally means commitment, or having commitment, but underneath it we have the Nine of Wands. So again, maybe they want you to know that the commitment for them has been, or was, a bit of a challenge for them in some way. Was something that they wasn't something that they could do. Maybe when you were with them before, or maybe if you're not with them now, or it's a situation where, you know, it's been a bit backwards and forwards and they haven't really been sure, and, you know, a bit kind of up and down. And it could be that you know, this, because the Seven of Cups right next to the Hierophant, again, just makes me feel like with this person, at some point or in some way in the relationship, they weren't really showing or giving a lot of commitment, and there might have been a bit of a breakdown or a pulling away or a moving away from the situation. And the fact we've got this kind of healthy choices just sort of says to me that now, maybe if that's the case in separation, they're trying to be more healthy in relationships. They're trying to, maybe it was something to do around, the reason why they had this kind of non-committal energy was something around them not properly being fully centered and balanced in themselves. Maybe it was to do with unhealthy choices or unhealthy life choices that they were making, and maybe now they are beginning to get a little bit of a handle on that. That might be why we have the illumination card, that things are becoming more illuminated, they are becoming more in touch with their sort of mind, body and spirit, if you like, and recognising that they need to be more balanced and having healthier choices, because all of that kind of stuff before was meaning that they weren't really able to properly commit or to kind of put their whole into something, really, because they were kind of not really properly focused, and that meant that their relationships, it was difficult maybe to be in a relationship with them. But I think their overall feeling about it is the Page of Cups, and that tells me that they kind of want a new emotional, a new romantic beginning with you. So if it is an ex or something like that, they are sort of thinking of that. Or if it's somebody that is maybe a little bit of a fling, or maybe it's a crush situation here where there's been for whatever reason they've got certain baggage, they haven't come forward in their feelings, or they have felt a little bit challenged by the situation. They maybe know that they like you, maybe they can feel this strong magnetic pull, but maybe they haven't come forwards. But what I would say is that the overall energy is that they do actually want to come forward. They do want to have, with the Page of Cups, this new emotional beginning. There might be a little bit of young energy here, because pages do talk about young energy. So maybe there's a little bit of young energy, and that might be why there were these challenges before with, commitment and, not sure what they want really in life, and possibly experimenting a little bit with lots of different things, and that might have been experimenting possibly with other situations or other relationships. Sometimes that we do those things when we are younger, although I'm not in any way, if that has caused you hurt and upset, pile number one, then I'm not in any way excusing that. But I just feel overall that there's a little bit of a young energy here that is beginning to mature. A young energy that is beginning to mature and beginning to realise that they need to kind of grow up a little bit, really. But they would like to have a new emotional beginning with you again, because what they want you to know is that they see you as the Empress. Now, the Empress is a beautiful energy. It's somebody who is, there's actually quite a lot of creativity in this card as well, because the Empress is very creative. The Seven of Cups is very creative. I feel like with the orange as well, that's very creative. So there might be a lot of creativity in this person, a lot of creativity within the two of you, in the sense that, what you do or how you live your lives. It just feels like there's a lot of creativity here. But with the Empress card, I mean, she is the kind of, the epitome of creativity and abundance. So they see you as a very sensual, a very abundant, loving, very nurturing, caring. You might actually be a mother, so you might actually, you might have a mothering role in some way, or you might work in a profession or in a job or something which is very caring and nurturing and has this sort of traditional kind of maternal or kind of feminine energy to it. You might not, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a woman, but it has that kind of feminine energy, really. You might be very intuitive, somebody who is very, very at home in her own skin, very confident. Yellow, there's a lot of yellow in the Empress, and the yellow talks about, confidence and empowerment and, knowing herself very well and having a lot of, having a lot of feminine power. So they certainly see you in that way, and they probably see you as a bit more mature than they are, and you might in years be a bit more mature, so there might be a little bit of an age difference in this situation, possibly, but they definitely see you as a prize to go for. And also above that we have this passionate new beginning card, which is the Ace of Wands. So I do feel with the orange as well that there is quite a lot of passion in this situation, and I certainly feel there's a lot of passion in this situation. There's a lot of heat, because with the orange, and just noticing the orange, red and pink here, it feels like there's quite a lot of heat in the situation. There's a lot of yeah, they want to bring light, because I'm just noticing this flame with the Ace of Wands as well here, and with the illumination, I think, and with also the light at the top of the Hierophant. I just feel they want to bring light into the situation. They want to light it up in some way. That's what I'm picking up. They want to light it up in some way. So maybe it has, if you're in separation, it has been in darkness for a little while. There has been a lack of contact or retreat in some way, and they want to reignite, spark it up again, illuminate it again. Or certainly if you haven't been in a relationship with them, they want to start it up. They want to ignite it. They want to begin it. And they want to get over whatever hurdles or obstacles that you may have experienced in the relationship, or they may have experienced as an individual. So they may be, if you're not in a relationship with them or you haven't had a history with them, they may be holding on to past heartaches and hurts and difficulties, which mean that they are closed off and defensive in love situations, or they have been in the past, because they're protecting themselves, protecting their heart. And that means that they sometimes come across as not wanting, dithering, not wanting to commit, not wanting to, be in a relationship, because, maybe they've been damaged in the past and maybe they're protecting themselves. But I think what they're beginning to do, or what is beginning to be illuminated for them, is that they would like to begin something with you. They would like to begin a new situation with you. And I think that is what they want you to know. They want to try and get over whatever challenges and problems that you may or may not have faced in the past, or that they may or may not have faced in the past, because the overall one is of coral, which is this kind of fun-loving, light colour. Orange is a very kind of light colour. It can also, I think I also said, I don't know if I said there's a certain colour therapy system called Orosoma colour bottles, and coral comes under orange, and there's a certain bottle in Orosoma called the number 26, and it's the Humpty Dumpty bottle, and it's the bottle which is often called the putting it all back together bottle. So sometimes orange can signify an Orosoma where there's been a bit of a shock, where something's happened, there's been a bit of a disruption, a bit of a shock, and you need to put everything back together again. So maybe if this has been a situation whereby you have split up recently, or there's been a bit of an issue recently that has caused some sort of damage, with the orange here, I'm just feeling for some of you that it might be that they are really wanting to put things back together again, to get things back on track. But anyway, that has been the reading here. But let's have a look and see what the cards say here. So it says, paradise. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So that goes very well with what I was just saying about the orange. I do feel they want things to be happy. They want happiness in this situation. They want to reignite or ignite happiness and playfulness. And maybe if it was when you were together before, it was a little bit heavy, or there were some issues before, possibly, but they want things to be happier this time around, or when it starts up, or when it starts to be happy. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So maybe this is an early situation, and you're beginning to get to know each other, and there's been a few hurdles, there's been a few hiccups, and they haven't quite committed, or they haven't, or they've been kind of, a bit defensive or a bit guarded, and maybe you've had a little early split or something like that. But here they're saying they want to get to know you. They want you to know that they want to get to know you, to have, to make, and that's probably why we have the illumination card, to illuminate all of you, to illuminate the whole situation, to go in deeper, because they kind of recognise this kind of bonds that you both have with each other. And what's this one? Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Yeah, so that would kind of go with if this situation is in separation. What they're wanting is that they know, maybe what they're saying is that they know there needs to be some honesty, some heart-to-heart conversation, some talking. It goes very well with the getting to know each other as well. Maybe getting to know each other again, But it definitely talks about communication here, wanting communication, because they see the potential, you know, maybe with the healthy choices. Like I said, there were some issues or some problems before, and they want it to be different again, and they kind of can. I think the thing is they do recognise this kind of spiritual connection. That's what I'm feeling here, that they feel there's a strong spiritual divine connection here. But anyway, pile number 1, that's been your reading. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can be alerted to whatever readings I might do in the future. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, and welcome back to your reading. So you chose this little pumpkin. Put that one there. You also chose the lavender card to bring you into the reading. So yeah, so today our reading is, you know, right now, what do they most want you to know? So right now, what do they most want you to know? So let's see. So we've got lavender. So I've got some oracle cards, I've got some tarot, and I've got some messages that I might do at the end, some of them at the end anyway, certainly, and then I might do 1 or 2 during the reading. But anyway, so we've got a lavender, and at the bottom it says connect to body, mind and spirit. And then we've got new beginnings. So okay, so let's just look at these first. So obviously at some point this person that you're thinking of clearly wants a new beginning in some way. They're looking for a new beginning. They want to start something new. Now with the lavender, I'm just feeling that they maybe, if it has been possibly, or because lavender is normally always about, isn't it, about calm, tranquility, relaxation. You know, we use lavender to reduce anxiety and stress. So maybe there's been a bit of anxiety and stress in this situation, or things have been a bit turbulent, and they want you to know that they want things to be calm and peaceful. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something about that. Or maybe you are, or you represent peace, calm, tranquility to them, and they want this new beginning with you. But they definitely want a new beginning in some way, yeah, and they want things to be peaceful. So maybe they want the beginning of that thing, or that new beginning, to be peaceful, for it to be tranquil, for it to be relaxing, for there to not be any drama. I think that's what they're feeling right now. Okay, so let's have a look and see what else it says. So let's have a look at your tarot. So new beginnings. Right. Okay. So we have Queen of Wands, Knight of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, there's a lot of people here. 2 of Wands, 4 of Cups, Temperance. Let me just put that there, sorry. And then the overall energy for the reading, that was at the bottom of the deck, is, okay, so that's the 6 of Wands in reverse. Right. Okay, I'm just going to pick, you've got 3 of these, so I'm just going to pick up one of them. I'm just going to pick up the first one, see what that says. Cool. New love. Right. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay, so new love, new beginnings. So for many of you, you might be a new person for your person, and this is confirmation that they want to have a new situation with you in some way. Now, the reason why that may be for some of you but not for all of you is because the overriding energy of the reading is the 6 of Wands. Now, when the 6 of Wands is upright, it normally talks about victory, but when it's in reverse, it's a sense of defeat. So maybe this person does want a new beginning or to start something with you, but they somehow feel that it's out of their reach, or there's a sense of defeat for them. Yeah, so maybe that's got that going on. But what I can't help but notice is that we have this Knight of Cups card in the centre of these two other cards, which is we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Wands. So with the Two of Wands as well, and that Two of Wands talks about choices. So I'm just wondering whether this is a situation where you are in a relationship with somebody where they are as kind of like a three-way thing, where there's a choice going on here for them. They are sort of feeling like there is a choice to be made in some way. Now, if this doesn't resonate with you, then you don't have to listen to this message. But it just feels to me that it's kind of like, for some of you, there may be a situation where you're in a relationship with somebody and they are trying to make a decision possibly between you and someone else, and maybe a new love or the potential of a new beginning has come in for them. Because we also have this Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands talks about choices. It also talks about, and it comes right under the Queen of Wands, this kind of starting a seed. They're laying a seed of something, and you're kind of waiting for it to see what will happen, what will grow out of it. So maybe, you are that other person that they want to begin a new relationship with, in the sense that they may already be committed and with somebody else, and they want to begin something with you. And maybe that's why we have the Six of Wands in reverse, because they feel that there's going to be a lot of obstacles towards achieving that. And they feel a sense of defeat around it, and that might also be why we have the Lavender card and the need for kind of calm, really, and to be relaxed about the situation, because there might have been a bit of tension in this situation. But we also it might be that like I say, you're in this situation whereby there is this choice where you yourself are in an established relationship, or there's been some sort of attraction elsewhere, maybe. And that can be for some of you, but not for all of you. Because under the Knight of Cups, which the Knight of Cups talks about somebody making a romantic gesture or romantic movement towards someone. And because you've got it right in the middle of these two queens, it just feels like they are making a romantic gesture towards one of them more than the other, and away from the other one. So it feels like there's a little bit of a choice situation for them. Also with the Knight of Cups, there is the Four of Cups underneath the Knight of Cups, where there's a sense of dissatisfaction maybe in their current romantic life, or they're not seeing, maybe that they're not seeing the potential of the current situation that they are in. Now, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles are two very different people. The Queen of Wands is fiery, is passionate, is she's very confident, she's very out there, she knows her own mind, she knows her own worth, as does the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, she is very confident, certainly in herself. She's very business savvy, she's very sensual. Both queens are very attractive. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is much more, I would say, possibly more reliable in love, or more down to earth and more committed. And I feel like this person is kind of hedging more towards that kind of person, where they want to come forwards towards that person, and I can't help feeling that they're moving away from something else or someone else. That could be, like I say, that they want that new beginning with you, that you are this Queen of Pentacles that they are moving towards, because underneath that they recognise that that person will bring them balance, because we have the Temperance card. Yeah, so they have the Temperance card here, and they feel that the Queen of Pentacles is the person that would probably bring them balance, whereas the Queen of Wands is somebody who's very exciting and very, great to be with, and she has an amazing presence, and there's a lot of chemistry with her, as there is with the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, there's a lot of chemistry. What I'm trying to say, I think, is the Queen of Pentacles, if you want a long-term relationship, she's probably the one that's the more, the kind of safer bet. And my sense is that they want that new beginning with this Queen of Pentacles character, but the overriding feeling is that maybe that is out of reach for them, either because they're committed elsewhere, or, you know, possibly because it's going to bring disruption in some way. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult choice to have that new beginning, and they're very well aware of it, but they have these kind of romantic, loving feelings. And I know this is quite a specific message, but I do feel that they are moving more towards that sense of commitment with somebody who is going to offer them that commitment and stability back. And that there's a sense of feeling dissatisfied in the current situation, whatever the current situation they're in, romantically. There's a sense of dissatisfaction with that. And they know that they kind of need to make a choice. They need to make a decision, because it's not coincidental that we have the Two of Wands and then we have these two figures and somebody making a romantic gesture in the middle of it towards one kind of more than the other, and this kind of sense of dissatisfaction really with their current situation. So my feeling is that they definitely want you to know that they do want a new beginning, that they do want a new love, that they do want a new situation, and it could be that they want that new situation and that new love with you if they're already committed elsewhere, or it could be something that they're saying that they are making a choice around love, and you could be in this third party situation really here, and that they want this kind of sense of calm and peace around it. But the overriding feeling is either that they can't have that victory with you, or that to have that victory with you is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because they're already maybe in a situation elsewhere, but they want you to know, if that is the case for you, they want you to know that they do have these kind of romantic feelings for you. So if this is kind of like, you know, you are the third party, I think they want you to know that they have those feelings for you, you know, that they want those, that they want to make they want to go to somebody who's going to be more committed and stable for them, who's going to bring them that sense of balance, who's going to bring them that sense of, you know, constancy and continuity. So whoever it is in the situation that's going to bring them that is the one that they are moving more towards and wanting that new beginning with. Yeah, so, but anyway, let's have a look to see what the other cards say. So this one says, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Yeah, so whatever new beginning they're thinking of, it has passion, it has a newness to it, it represents a new beginning for them. So maybe you are a crush situation for them and they want that new beginning with you, they want that new start with you, they recognise you as new love, you have a lot of passion. And the other way to read this is that you could represent both these people, you know, you could be both the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles to them. So you could bring them, because the Queen of Wands does talk about passion and the Queen of Pentacles talks about more stable, solid, committed love. So the fact that you've got new love and you've got passion around this new beginning, it could be that they see you in this, you know, this very sort of dynamic way, I have to say, or somebody where there's two sides of the coin to you, where you are a queen in both respects to them, you know, you are somebody that they hold in very high regard, but you have these two aspects of your personality where you have both this kind of sense of passion and excitement, and this great sense of sexual chemistry and energy, but you also have this sense of commitment and loyalty and stability that they love. Now there may be, because the Knight of Cups again is a younger energy, it may be, and the Knight of Cups can also talk about, you know, I'm thinking of Cancer, Pisces, more so than Scorpio, I think, but you could have Scorpio within it because, you know, Cups are water signs. You know, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, you know, Taurus, Virgo. Queen of Wands, you could have Sagittarius and Aries there. So those sort of signs might mean something to you. Yeah, so my sense is that you could actually be somebody that embodies both those types of characteristics, and that could be for some of you, but I just think for some of you there might be a situation where you're in a bit of a triangle situation, a bit of a love triangle situation going on here, for you both, for you all. But anyway, let's have a look at this. Okay, so the butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. So maybe this person wants you to know that they, maybe there is an evolving, an evolution. So maybe with the Two of Wands, there's a bit of a stuckness to situation. You're in separation, maybe. So maybe there was a victorious relationship, a good relationship, and now it's no longer the case, and you're in a separation mode. And they want it to transform. They want to come together with you. They want to come back to you in terms of a new beginning, to ignite new love, to get passion back. And the butterfly is obviously about transforming it, having it evolve. Maybe before they didn't properly appreciate it with the Four of Cups underneath the Knight of Cups. Maybe they didn't fully appreciate what you had to offer, all these wonderful things that you had to offer. And maybe, there was a sense of stuckness to it before, and now they want you to know that they want to evolve and change and move the relationship forward in some way. But I think the main message here is, and what they want you to know, is that they want a new beginning. They want a new start. They want a new passionate beginning. For some of you, that is with you, but I think for some of you there might be a situation here where they want a passionate new beginning, which I have to be honest here, that may or may not be with you, but that is what they want you to know. They want a passionate new start, a passionate new beginning, and for some of you that will be with you, but for some of you, I'm just feeling that the choice might not land with you, but you might already know that. My sense is that you might already know that with the Six of Wands, because there is a sense of overall, a sense of kind of defeat, really, in the energy of the reading. So I just have to be honest there. Pile number 2. So for me, it just feels like wherever you are in any one of those scenarios, what they want you to know is that they either want that passionate new beginning with you, or they want to make a choice, which means they have a passionate new beginning with somebody else that might be involved in the situation, and they're wanting calm in that situation. And that basically, what I want you to know is this is obviously, you probably know this already, it's got nothing to do with you, in the sense that, you haven't done anything wrong, because if you are one of these two people, both these two queens are fantastic. Both these two queens are fantastic, and they have fantastic qualities. And what I would say about the Knight of Cups is, that this is, if that is you, and that you're in a situation and they are choosing to go somewhere else, that, the Knight of Cups is a young energy. It's not as mature as the two queens, and sometimes, they can be, be very romantic and loving, but they're not always, sometimes they're a little bit dreamy, really, and they're not always as reliable, maybe, as one would like. So, just to kind of bear that in mind, really. But anyway, that has been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you have, then please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be alerted to whatever readings that I do in the future. But other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome back to your reading. So you chose the lemon card with this lovely little green stripy pumpkin, so I'm going to put that there. So obviously today we're doing the question of, right now, what do they most want you to know about how they're thinking, how they're feeling, how they see you, how they see the situation. So let's put out the cards. I've got some oracle cards, I've got some tarot cards, I've got some message cards. Now I might do one of the message cards during the reading, or the beginning of the reading, and then I'll save a few for the end. But anyway, let's play out your cards and let's see what you've got. And if you feel like you want to subscribe during the reading, because you like it, then please do. But anyway, it's the first one you got, which was lemon, and it says access innovative thinking. So maybe there's a need in this situation to think creative. It requires a bit of creative thinking, which kind of leads me to think that it might be a little bit you know, you have to think outside the box. So maybe there's been a few issues or problems. So maybe this is about somebody that you've been in a relationship with, and there's been a few issues and problems. Lemon also reminds me of cleansing. I don't know why. Cleansing, clean, sharp, bitter, sour as well. So maybe there's a little bit of sourness going on, a need to cleanse and clear out something in some way. It's also about, under the yellow hue, so it talks about confidence, the third chakra, self-confidence, self-belief, you know, confidence in itself, power, inner power. So, you know, maybe they're working on themselves in some way and they want you to know that. Maybe they're trying to think of solutions and they want you to know that. Maybe they're trying to clear and cleanse themselves and they want you to know that. Maybe there's an air of bitterness or sourness in the situation and they want you to know that they're aware of that. But anyway, let's have a look at the other oracle card. Potential. Right, so just with this one, let's have a look at this one. So I feel like maybe this is a situation that you were in separation from. This is a relationship that you're in separation from. So maybe it's about an ex, or you're in a temporary situation where you're separated from this person in some way. I don't know, because it's in, most of the card is in a lot of darkness, isn't it? You can't see it, but you can't see anything other than this kind of look, this mountain. It might be a volcano with a little bit of light coming at the top, which says there's potential, and they feel maybe that they're thinking there's still potential in this situation. They still see potential in this situation, and maybe there's a lot going on behind the scenes for them to, you know, to kind of like to have that potential to have something again with you that you can't currently see, that you're not privy to, because it's in all this sort of darkness, really. Maybe they're doing a bit of healing. That's the other thing. There might be cleansing, clearing, healing, something like that. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh yeah, so the Hanged Man. Yeah, definitely some soul search. Yeah, oh my gosh. So the Hermit and the Hanged Man. I mean, there's a lot of internal work going on with this person. So there's a lot of weighing up, thinking things through, trying to gain enlightenment, trying to find the way forward, thinking, analysing, clearing, looking, trying to work out solutions, definitely. And that's what they want you to know. Six of Pentacles. Judgment. Ace of Pentacles. The Emperor. Right. Now, I took the card out at the bottom of the deck. For some reason, two cards. When I took it out from the bottom, two cards came out with you. So the first one is, the Tower. And the second one is Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands can mean victory. So it's interesting that you've got Tower and then victory right next to it. Now we've got three messages here. I'm going to take the first one off, and that says, deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. Now that is a little indicator on my computer there that I need to plug in my battery. So just bear with me for one moment while I do that. I'm always doing this. I'm very sorry. Why that happens, so that's interesting that I've had to do that. So what does that mean, I wonder? What does it mean? So I've had to plug in something again, I've had to revive something again, I've had to bring it back to life. So yeah, so maybe there's something about this person that goes with a potential card here, about wanting to bring it back to life again, because I do feel that for some of you, you are definitely in separation, or this person is kind of not available to you. They're in retreat from you, they're not showing you much, they're not giving you much. Now with this deception card and the Tower, I can't help feeling that something has happened in this situation to bring it to an abrupt end. So maybe there has been some kind of deception, or there is some kind of deception, because it says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So maybe someone is not being, or was not being, honest in this relationship, or maybe somebody feels that they can't be themselves in this situation. So for example, if it's a crush situation, maybe they can't reveal themselves, or it's a situation which hasn't begun, maybe it's because they feel that they can't reveal themselves in some way. Or with the Tower card, maybe something happened where they were doing something dishonestly and the situation has come to an end, or there's been a shocking revelation in some way, because the Tower card talks about something crumbling, dismantling, having been built up on false foundations, not on solid foundations. But right next to it we have the Victory card. So it makes me feel that they want you to know that they are trying to work on ways to bring this back, to revive this situation, to make it a good situation again, because we also have the Judgment card. So I think they want you to know that they're really working on themselves, that they maybe recognise that they might have done something wrong in some way, and obviously only you know the depth of that, the depth of how that has affected you. But from their point of view, they definitely want a rising up. They want, especially with being right under the Hangman, it feels like for them, they want you to know that they're really going inwards, and that they feel kind of like a calling, if you like, a calling to bring this relationship or to bring this situation back into being, and they want it to be much better maybe than it was before, or certainly much more stable than it was before maybe, and for it to, yeah, they feel like a strong pull. I think they feel like a strong pull. They feel, especially with this kind of cleanse, I can't keep coming back to this cleansing. I just feel like they are cleansing, clearing out anything, maybe any difficult behaviours, or maybe any self-sabotaging behaviours, or behaviours that were destructive in the situation. They are clearing and cleansing that out, and they want you to know that they might even be going for a little bit of a spiritual awakening, or some sort of epiphany moment in the kind of situation, and they want you to know that they're kind of waking up to how they want the relationship to move forward, going forward really, but at the moment they're not, they're kind of like in retreat, they're in retreat doing that. I feel like they're in retreat doing that in some way, and they're really trying to kind of work on themselves, and I feel like they're hopeful. They themselves, particularly with the potential card here, I feel like they are hopeful that things will get back on track, and that they want to get back on track kind of with you. Now, in terms of yes, I mean what I would say here is that they feel they feel like they feel to me like there's somebody who's very confident, and that might be why we have the lemon here, because we have the Emperor. So it feels to me like this person has a lot of confidence in themselves, because the Emperor is somebody who is together, very in charge in all aspects of their life, in charge of often what they're doing in their life, maybe made it in their career. They might even be a father, because obviously this is like the sort of main kind of divine masculine kind of energy, if you like, within the kind of the tarot deck, or the paternal energy within the tarot deck. The Emperor figure, sort of above the kings really, is very powerful. So I feel like this person might be a very powerful person in your life. They might be in some way your manager or your boss, or somebody that's in charge over you, or has some kind of authority over you in some way. But it feels to me that they want to make they want to give stability, because we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Six of Pentacles. So they're very grounded. I feel that although they're doing all this kind of spiritual work on themselves, I feel like in some respects they're very grounded, or they're moving towards a more grounded way of being, because Pentacles is all about stability, security, building up life. So maybe they want you to know that they are becoming more, that they are stable and grounded and secure and reliable. And the Emperor is somebody who's very reliable and trustworthy, somebody that you can definitely rely on, somebody who will bring security and stability. And because it becomes right under the Six of Pentacles. Now the Six of Pentacles can talk about generosity, it can talk about giving, it can talk about looking after people, looking after everyone really, not just themselves. So I feel like they want to look after you, they want to care for you, they want to provide security and stability. And maybe with this Tower card and the Deception card, they didn't do that before, and maybe they realise that now they didn't do that before and they regret that. So I feel like there is some regret. But I suppose what I'm feeling here is there's this person, because we have the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Emperor, is that I feel like as a personality they're not overly giving or demonstrative in their love. So that's the other thing also, because the Lemon card is quite a sort of, you know, it's quite a cool colour. It's not an overly warm colour. It's very refreshing, and it's very reviving, and it's very, I imagine this person's a very good thinker and a very action-based person. You know, they're a doer. They want to, you know, they want to do lots of things to bring this relationship back, and they see a lot of potential in it. But there's not a lot of cards here telling me that they maybe show that or say that in words. So with this person, I'm just feeling that they keep their emotions kind of under wraps, or hidden in some way. Or they don't allow you to access that. So that might be something you want to think about going forwards, because there's, you know, like I say, there's not a lot of cards here, maybe around that. And obviously with the Emperor, I just kind of always feel, or you know. Yeah, so I just feel like there's that sort of sense of, yeah, kind of that sort of sense of kind of holding on to their emotions. And that might be something, like I say, that you might want to be aware of in the situation, that they might not be overly demonstrative in sharing and giving their emotions to you or saying how they feel, but they definitely feel that there is potential in the situation, that they're definitely working on themselves and going into themselves, and you know, there's a lot of analysis going on, so there's a lot of strategy, a lot of plans, and I think they feel that if this situation did fall apart, that they're quite confident that they can bring it back, on track. And they see, you know, they see the potential in the situation, but all I'm just saying is that there's not if you're looking for somebody who's going to be overly demonstrative in showing their feelings, or overly demonstrative in saying how they feel, then you're probably not going to get that with this person. But that doesn't mean to say that they don't have a lot of to give to the situation, or a lot to offer to the situation. You know, certainly in terms of just, you know, a stable, secure relationship going forwards, even though in the past that might not have been the case. But anyway, let's have a look to see what other messages we have here. Oh, retreat. Yeah, so that definitely goes with these two cards. It's time to disconnect from the world. So yeah, they're feeling, I think, that they want you to know that there still need to be in retreat, or there needs to be some kind of period where they are working things out. But interestingly, this card always shows two people in retreat, so maybe they also want for the two of you to just disconnect from everything else, to work things out, maybe they're thinking that they want a chance to work things out with you, or to talk things through with you, where there aren't any other distractions, you know, anything else that might get in the way of you actually talking to each other and being with each other. You might actually, for some of you, might be married to this person, or this might be a very long-term connection, because this shows two people who are obviously a married couple in some way, because she's got a white dress on, white wedding, what looks like a white wedding dress in some way. So yeah, okay, got that there. So let's see what this says. ascending, and that would go with the Judgment card, ascending. So transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So yeah, that would go with that card there, wouldn't it? It kind of feels like with the Judgment cards, whether they want the relationship to move into a, you know, a higher level, a better level, and they're kind of working on trying to make that happen. They want that, you know, they want it to ascend. I mean, they might even be thinking about marriage in some way. If you're not already married to them, they might even be thinking about marriage, about you know, a very strong union between the two of you, where it's just you and them. Yeah, I kind of get that sense of maybe they're feeling and thinking that. So maybe they're, you know, maybe, you know, it could be a situation where they're already with someone, but they're thinking about how they can be with you. So it might be something like that going on. That there's, and that the overall energy might be that, you know, that could cause a lot of disruption, but they're confident that in the long run it would lead to a victorious situation where the two of you can be together, and that might also explain why we have deception card in this. You know, that somebody, if it is like a third party situation, that someone's having to, you know, there's an element of deception going on in the situation. So that could also be going on for some of you, and that might be why we have the hidden card, where there's the potential of you and them, but it has to be hidden. It has to be not be on show in some way, but there is potential to it, and that might be why you're in separation from them. You know, because it's kind of like a third way or a third party situation here in some way. But anyway, pile number 3, that has been your reading. But I think the overall is that they want you to know that they are trying to come up with a strategy, a plan, a way of coming back to the situation, or reigniting the situation, or bringing power back into the situation, for the situation to be victorious or victorious again in some way, to get rid of whatever false foundations it may or may not have been based on in the past, or whatever false foundations they are currently in a situation that has false foundations. They want that to come crashing down so that they can have a new beginning, a new start with you. But anyway, pile number 3, that has been your reading. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be alerted to whatever reading I do in the future. Other than that, have a great day. Bye for now.